Welcome back. The Indonesian government said late on last week it will raise the minimum price of cigarette across categories by an average of 35% from next year and increase the excise tax on tobacco products by 23% as part of its efforts to reduce smoking rates. To see deeper view, let's check Clara Antawijaya's coverage on the issue.
Yes, Vicky Adrian, Indonesia with tobacco industry are really relatable. Tobacco industry is one of the largest industry in Indonesia with a high domestic consumption of cigarettes, and especially among Indonesians men. It is even estimated that 65% of Indonesians men are smokers. Smoking culture and large exposures to the cigarettes, of course, the economic cost of smoking in Indonesia is very high. It is estimated that 200,000 people die annually from the effort of smoking. Smoking-related health spending in Indonesia stand around $1.2 billion per year. This equals around 8% of total public health spending, say research by the World Health Organization's economist Mark Gottschalk. The 5 main causes of death in Indonesia are all related to tobacco, from tuberculosis and diabetes to disease of ischemic heart, cerebrovascular, and chronic respiratory, according to the Institute for Health Metric and Evaluation. Therefore, government through Sri Mulyani, the finance minister, has stated to increase the higher excise tax on tobacco products by 23%, and of course following with the higher retail prices for 35%. And this is as an effort to reduce smoking rates in Indonesia. And what is actually finance minister has said about that?
Kita lihat dari sisi konsumsi, memang ada tren yang perlu untuk menjadi perhatian kita. Pertama, bahwa jumlah prevalensi mereka yang menghisap rokok meningkat, baik itu dari sisi perempuan terutama dan untuk anak-anak. Dari anak-anak dan remaja naik dari 7% di atas menjadi 9%, dari perempuan naik dari yang hanya 2%, 2,5 menjadi 4,8%. Oleh karena itu kita juga perlu untuk memperhatikan bagaimana menggunakan cukai ini di dalam rangka untuk mengurangi tren kenaikan rokok tersebut.
2%. It may look small number, but when it is applied in Indonesia huge populations, the argument is not valid anymore. Through the data from the Ministry of Development Planning or Bappenas, in 2019, Indonesian women hit 132 million people. So when it turns out to 2% increase to 7%, that would be a huge differences. So it would be a huge deal. After all, Indonesia's cigarette prices remain among the lowest in the world, averaging roughly at $1 for a pack of a dozen or more cigarettes. It is affordable even for the poor. In the long run, government consistency in increasing tobacco excise and much higher retail prices from today's level may be able to turn around the consumption habit. So as we can see, we can find a lot of smokers in here all over the corners. And to get a deeper view about that, let's ask one of the smoker in here to get know about their assumptions on the government policy.
Kalau menurut saya saat ini mungkin hal tersebut masih harus dipertimbangkan kembali. Karena yang pertama pasti sebagai perokok secara pribadi saya dan mungkin perokok-perokok lainnya juga pasti ini kan menambah pengeluaran, menambah konsumsi kita kan, menambah uang yang harus kita keluarkan itu secara pribadi, dan juga mungkin secara lebih besarnya juga kenaikan pajak rokok ini juga kan pasti akan mempengaruhi daya beli masyarakat akan rokok, dan itu juga mungkin akan berpengaruh ke industri rokok ya, dari hulu ke hilirnya. Itu juga harus dipertimbangkan sama pemerintah sih, menurut saya seperti itu.
To be fair, I would like to ask the merchant of cigarettes also. Let's check.
Ya kalau dinaikkan lagi kan kita mesti tambah modal lagi. Repot lah begitu kan. Iya, jadi itu juga untungnya juga tipis. Dinaikin lagi ya tambah modal. Lagian dia udah pasti mengurang lah. Soalnya kan makin mahal sekarang aja juga udah sepi.
After hearing on how those people feel unhappy about the regulation, same things happened as well with the observers. They have a tendency to refuse these regulations, but right now we can know why, because we have opportunity to have a chit chat with Executive Director of INDAF, Tauhid Ahmad. So we can see on how his perspective on these regulations towards tobacco excise tax.
Tapi pemerintah, saya mengacu pada tahun sebelumnya sekitar 10-11%. Itu pun sebenarnya udah tinggi banget. Karena sebenarnya kalau hitungannya adalah pertumbuhan ekonomi sekitar 5,3%, itu paling tinggi. Kemudian inflasi 3,5%, maka ya sekitar 8-9%. Itu yang dipahami oleh swasta. Tapi pemerintah biasanya lebih tinggi, 10-11%, untuk mengantisipasi failure dari soal perolehan penerimaan cukai itu sendiri.
So basically what he said is that cigarettes is one of the biggest contributors to Indonesians' poverty. And while from the BPS data in March 2019, cigarettes put contributions to poverty by 12% in the urban area, while it is 11% for the rural areas. And therefore, these regulations may bring significant impact to the poverty line. And speaking of which, when we talk about these soon-to-be regulated regulations, this may bring a lot of impacts. And these impacts are assessed by the Indonesian's Kretek National Committee, or KNPK. According to the committee, there are impacts of cigarettes excise. Decreasing people's buying power on cigarettes. Second, decreased turnover and undermine uptake raw materials. And the third, bigger chance for illegal cigarettes to be sold. Well, according to the committee, the magnitude of the increase rate is considered too high and irrational. And the coordinator of the committee went to say that government should re-examine the excise tax by the next year. Speaking about the last impact, which is the illegal cigarettes. Actually, the scenario has been detected by government before and kind of being one of their considerations to overcome.
Kalau terjadi kenaikan rokok yang sangat tinggi, maka memunculkan kejadian rokok ilegal. Saat ini Bea dan Cukai sudah bisa menurunkan rokok ilegal hanya pada level 3%.
Despite soon-to-be regulated regulations about tobacco excise tax, cigarettes industry in Indonesia is big. As you know, that Indonesia is one of the key players of the industry. Even TF Market analysis data stated that countries that have potential growth in the next 5 years is also Indonesia. So therefore, we hope nothing but the best for tobacco industry in Indonesia, and we hope that all stakeholders can overcome the soon-to-be regulated stated. So therefore, I'm Clara Antawijaya. Go back to studio with Wikadian.
Thank you for the elaborative report, Clara Antawijaya, and stay tuned on Market Headlines because we'll be right back after the break.